The Tiguan has been quite a silent success story for Volkswagen. Since 2007, over 2.8 million have been sold around the globe. That's right, 2.8 million of them. So the model we've got here is the 2-litre TSI petrol, which comes as standard with a 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox and also 4-motion 4-wheel drive. Some people might be thinking it'd be nice if you get front-wheel drive, but at the end of the day, 75% of UK buyers of the old model opted for 4-motion anyway. As you may have guessed, we're here in Berlin in a lovely urban environment where, let's face it, the Tiguan's probably going to spend a great deal of its life. With a 2-litre TSI turbocharged engine, you get 178 brake horsepower to give a 0 to 60 time of 7.7 seconds, which, if we're honest, is pretty brisk actually. It's not going to win any speed records, but anyone that opts for this powertrain is not going to be disappointed in terms of pace. Fuel consumption isn't too bad, but ultimately, if you are worried about how it's going to do at the pumps, you want to buy a diesel really. In eco mode, you do tend to find that it is a little bit sluggish, so you put your foot down, you wait, and then you go. The engine does become more vocal, but to be fair, it's never a bad sounding thing. It's not inspiring, but then it's an SUV. The Tiguan's easy enough to thread around, with good precise steering that may not bristle with the last word in feedback, but is no worse than what you'd get in, say, a Qashqai or a Sportage. In fact, to be fair, it's much better than you get in a Sportage. As you'd expect from a dual-clutch Volkswagen gearbox, effortlessly shuffling between gears. If you do want to take manual control, you've got the paddles behind the wheel. The shifts become snappy and much quicker. Like Audi's virtual cockpit system, our test car is fitted with a digital dashboard that is fully configurable. Although we've got no complaints about the instrument panel in front of the driver, the 360-degree camera system the car has isn't quite as clear as maybe it could be. Certainly in strong sunlight, things can get a little bit fuzzy. That being said, with the car growing about 80mm in length and also gaining some girth as well, it is a welcome thing to have, especially in tight urban environments. So having tried the 2-litre TSI on-road, we're now taking the top-spec 2-litre TDI 4-motion DSG off-road. Unlike a traditional 4-wheel drive like a Land Rover Defender for instance, this doesn't have any diff locks. Instead it just relies completely on electronics to just grab at individual wheels with the brakes. To help with the off-roading that we've got a forward-facing camera that allows us to see what is in front of us, even if all you can see is bonnet out of the windscreen. Although it is a bit weird staring at the middle of the dashboard to see where you're going, it is pretty damn effective. This has got the off-road package, which improves approach and also departure angles. It also gives it a little bit more ground clearance as well. So we can mosey over these humps quite easily. But now we have a very, very steep and very rocky slope. I think we're going to need some throttle to attack. So, that was no worries. Getting some disapproving looks from the German off-road experts, but never mind. And now we've got hill descent control, which just nips the brakes and stops things from getting too out of hand. And we've got some narrow planks as well as some steps to go over. If you're just planning to take this to the car boot, car park or a grassy bit of track, you're not going to have any trouble with this. So now we're getting onto the serious stuff, so axle articulation. So there we go. You do have to go with a bit of momentum to actually make it deal with stuff like this, because you end up with a lot of wheels dangling over the ground. But with a bit of momentum and a bit of throttle, not a problem at all. And there we go. No stress, no drama, no problems. Just a really, really annoying beep from the parking sensors. Even with the extra space, VW have still managed to trim some weight and improve aerodynamics. Combined with more efficient petrol and diesel engines, the new Tiguan is up to 24% more economical than its predecessor. The increase in wheelbase certainly helps rear seat comfort. A pair of tall adults will comfortably travel in the second row, Practicality also impresses. There's no load lip for the boot, it's significantly bigger than its predecessor and the ever popular Nissan Qashqai. Overall, the new Volkswagen Tiguan appears to be a more compelling SUV than the car it replaces. Not only is it more practical than before, it's also even better equipped, has more safety equipment, and as we've learned today, it's also pretty good off-road as well. We do have some reservations about the ride in the UK. Over some of the cobbles that we've seen here, it can be a little bit uncomfortable. We're impressed, but we need to see how it stacks up against the competition.